Lesson 12. PLC Software Utilities. Every PLC software package comes with lots of tools and utilities. In this lesson, we review some of the essential tools that you can find almost in every PLC programming toolbox. By completing this lesson, you would be able to understand and describe licensing models for PLC programming software, how PLC code handling tool works, what means PLC firmware update and how it is done, and important points about PLC maintenance. To use the full functionalities of the PLC programming package, you may need to get a software license, just like any other piece of software. In most cases, a license is only valid for one version of software per installation. This implies that if you wish to use the software on multiple PCs, you need to purchase a separate license for each one. Every once in a while, PLC vendors release new software versions. That means you will either need to purchase a new license or upgrade your existing one. Most PLC manufacturers also offer trial licenses to allow users to test the software for a short period of time. Trial licenses are typically valid for a few weeks to a few months. Another common form of license is the one for educational purposes, in which the PLC supplier exclusively sells a discounted version of the license to colleges and universities, with the idea of promoting its products. A student license is valid for a fixed period of time, such as a year. Software licenses are often in the form of binary files or dongles. If it is a binary file, it can only be handled by the license management tool that the PLC vendor provides. An internet connection is sometimes required to activate and authorize a license from a specific server. These details can be found in the license tool documentation. To update the code running on a PLC, you normally need a PC with a PLC programming tool installed on it and a direct connection to the PLC. But what happens if you no longer have access to the PLC? For instance, suppose the machine with PLC was shipped to a different country and now you need to update the code to correct a bug. One option is to guide the end user to install the PLC programming package and then give them a copy of the program to download. This may sound simple, but there are several concerns. First of all, many machine builders are unwilling to share their programs. It's their know-how and they want to protect it. Second, there is a risk of code being changed by an unauthorized person and causing damage to the machine. There is also a cost associated with obtaining a license if one is needed. To address this challenge, some PLC manufacturers include a code handling tool in their software package. This tool can convert the application code to binary files that can be copied to an SD card. Then the machine technician inserts the card into the CPU memory slot and turns on the PLC. That will transfer the compiled code to the CPU, similar to downloading the application. The code handling tool is normally a standalone piece of software which is free of charge and doesn't need a license. This will offer a safe and practical solution for remote code transfer. Like every other computer-based system today, PLCs also have firmware. Every now and then, PLC manufacturers release new firmware to improve the module's performance, fix bugs, or add new functionalities. That requires that programmers learn how to update the firmware with the tools included in the PLC programming package. A firmware is provided in the form of a binary file that can be downloaded from the PLC manufacturer's website. So working with any PLC, at some point of time you need to know where to find the firmware files and then how to use the tools to upgrade or change the firmware of a module. To update the firmware, you need to power on the PLC, get connected, select the hardware module that you plan to update, and then load the firmware file. For every module, this may take a few minutes or less to complete. For safety reasons, firmware updates must be performed only when the PLC is in the stop mode. Keeping the system operational is a key part of PLC maintenance. There are a number of scenarios that can cause the PLC fails and goes to stop mode. For example, if the CPU loses communication with remote I/O, it may enter into stop mode. After fixing the issue, you can restart the PLC to activate the process from the beginning. Restart clears any non-retentive memory variables, timers and counters, and loads a new copy of the code into RAM for execution. Restart is the process of switching the CPU from run to stop and then back to run. Sometimes, when you load a piece of code while the CPU is running, you may need to perform a restart to ensure that the modifications you've made are properly implemented. The other maintenance function that you need to try once in a while is reset. This is a function that you have to do very carefully. A reset returns the CPU to the factory setting. It erases the program memory and even clears settings like the IP address. So before activating a reset function, it is reasonable to make sure that there is a working backup of the application program. After resetting a CPU to get the PLC running, you need to download the whole configuration and program again. Normally, restart and reset functions are done via the maintenance part of the programming package. However, some PLCs allow you to do it also via a hand switch on the CPU or even using a standalone utility tool.